my gosh. We good? All right. Let's find a mic here. Thank you everybody for coming out for the Homebrew, Making Pinball, Making Friends talk. This has become my favorite part of these shows every year because I just get to get up here and talk about all the rad stuff that everybody does. My name is Aaron Davis. I'm from Fast Pinball. We've been doing these PINDEVCON events with Marco's Specialties, the whole crew. Our goal was to make the Homebrew experience less of just some random games shoved in the corner that everybody kind of wonders what's going on with those games because the top's been open most of the show and balls keep getting stuck. Our goal was to make it like more of an exhibit, an experience. If you could take like a makerspace and merge it with like a carnival or something. So really, that's what these experiences have become. It's also been getting harder and harder to get everybody an opportunity to get up on stage and talk about their games and projects and stuff like that because there are so many homebrew people these years. We've been coming down to Texas for a while now. We're from like the Seattle area. Texas used to be a homebrew desert, and it's not anymore. We've been sending more and more hardware down here and seeing more and more projects get built. And we'll see some of them because my slide deck turned into a yellow sheet of paper, we'll see them when we go out on the floor later on and take a look at them. I guess that if there was one thing that I want to make sure everybody takes away from this experience is all of us at one point had never made a pinball machine before. And now at this point, some of us have made multiples of them. Like myself, I've not made a full pinball machine yet, but I've helped a lot of projects come to life, and I find that super satisfying. And I've loved getting to meet and inspire people to finish their projects, to keep rolling along. I have to assume that everybody here at one point has gotten enthusiastic, like, you're so awesome, your project is so cool, you're almost there from me, and you're welcome. So all right, so we're gonna cruise through. We don't have a lot of time here, so that's one of the hardest parts about these things. The goal, we want you to see that we're all nice, normal-ish people that want to come spend time with you. So come by, walk up, talk to us while we're cutting and crimping and bending things and fixing things, because that's how we all learned and that's how we all got engaged in the homebrew community. And we can't wait to see everybody kind of wander off over to the back far corner, if you haven't been there yet, of the show floor to see the whole homebrew experience. Okay, so starting off, we're gonna bring up two people here, Nick Tesseris and Nick Moran. You guys wanna come up and join me here? So one of the goals we try to do is introduce the new faces and stuff like that. So Nick, local to us up in the Northwest, he's making the King of the Hill pinball machine. And Nick, I'm gonna say Moog. Everyone calls you Moog. Moog, he's making his Turbo Time machine, but he's also done a lot to help other projects and stuff like that come to life in a 3D form. So that's why I want to bring you guys up here, because you do overlap a little bit that way. But let's start with you. So this is your first time bringing your show to a game, period. Yep. Not only that, you picked one that was super far from home and had to transport and ship it all the way down here. So so this is truly a first experience all around. What has this show been like for you so far?
It's been a little frustrating for me because the game hasn't flipped yet, but it's been good. I have all these other homebrew people through the Discord encouraged me to bring it whatever state that it's in.
Yep.
So I brought it down flippable with some code, and then through a bumpy FedEx trip from Seattle, had some hiccups. So still hoping to get it running tonight, but it's been great so far. He's been a massive help. He's been under my machine pretty much the entire weekend because his is running. And everyone's kind of helped here and there throughout the show so far.
I think that's also a really good thing too, because there is something nice about jumping out of your own project to hop into someone else's project and lend a hand. It's like your machine, all those long projects. They're the long tail parts that are just not that exciting to finish. But the idea of hopping over and helping someone through their project is exciting, especially here at the show. So I think that's one of the things, a lot of anxiety people have about bringing things to the show is what if something breaks? Something is going to break. That thing that worked perfect in your house is gonna have one piece that fell off and gets bent or gets crooked, but you're gonna find all the people that to go to borrow pieces and parts from, all that good stuff. So Nick, or Moog, so talk about your project a bit. You've done a lot of iterations on that stuff, and then also still found the time to help other people with their projects. So talk about your experience with Homebrew.
So Turbo Time started off as actually 2 years ago, I came to TPF and met Ernie, and I was like, hey, I want to build a Homebrew, and I realized that there was a community behind it, then there was support that could get me to the finish line, and I was like, okay, let's do this. So I started building Turbo Time, took it to Expo that year as a flipping whitewood, and then I've progressively made art at expo the next year and had most of the playfield like decorated, and now it has full code, full art, and it's a pretty complete machine as far as I would consider it. There's a few more things I want to do, but it's the vision is complete as of now.
That's awesome. So like you've been to the show, you've had that first experience, and then you took everything home, refined, tweaked, made adjustments and stuff like that. That's the experience you're starting with here, you know. So after you went to your first show, what were some of the big observations you got from actually making the effort to get it in front of people?
One thing was I had this weird shot, and depending on how the playfield was leveled, changed how the shot worked.
Okay.
So that was a little frustrating for me because it was like dead nuts at home. And then when I moved it, it was like all clunky. But one of the other things was I had this really hard shot, and I didn't realize how hard it was until I took it to expo. Like nobody made it, so I was like, I gotta tune that in. And just a lot of stuck balls. Like your first revision, you have no idea where you're gonna find new ways to stick balls that you couldn't even conceive of, and then you gotta fix that.
That is a big part of it. Is like when you're there shooting your game and getting everything dialed in for what you know, you've got the muscle memory there, like all that kind of stuff. And then you get in front of people who are good pinball players that just can't do that one special thing you thought everybody would love. Those are those great insights because they let you modify things or pull that experience earlier into the gameplay, all that kind of thing. So now I think that our goal is get your game flipping when we get back here so that you can get some of this insight and stuff like that from the gameplay experience. Sure. But one thing I do want to hit on is the two of you overlap in this project here. So one of the things that I love seeing in projects is when somebody's got an idea or a vision for something, somebody goes, I can help you with that. Like, let me add to your project in a way that I'm well suited to help with. So when you'd come down to visit, you brought the mechanism that Moog built and put into the game. So talk a little bit about how you guys came together on that and what that collaboration is like.
So I had an idea for a grill for King of the Hill that when you qualify lock, it opens, and then there's a trough within it to kind of have some light shows for grill effects, and lock 3 balls and then dump them out. But I have no idea how to execute that at all. I just had the idea. He's a mech maker for hire, so I reached out to him online, and he's took it on. I think it ended up being more than you expected.
Yeah.
And he showed me maybe 5 different revisions he had worked on before he even showed it to me. But yeah, it turned out great. We wired it on Friday. Thanks to him, he sent me with harnesses and boards and everything needed, labeled with a guide, so it was ready to roll. If we get the game flipping today, hopefully that's next step.
Dude, that's awesome. And it's adorable. I mean, it's a cute little piece like stuck on there. And I think those are the things that's like, there's so much like, it's not thankless work. It's the work that you do to get everything working and functional. And then somebody comes along and puts a cute little toy on top and that's what people remember. Just know that it's like the whole experience of creating the opportunity to put these pieces together and tell a story on the stage. And that's what Homebrew's all about.
Yeah, so to go more into that, I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, and so like mechanical design is my specialty. I'm terrible at art, so I actually had Nate here in the audience help me out with the art for my machine. And then I've done mechs for a few machines. The Monsters Inc. door rotating mech,
yeah.
I designed that. My nickname's Turbo Time. I have the V8 ball lock and the grill mech for Nick's machine here. I felt like a lot of the toys make pinball special, make you have pinball moments, and you know, I'm a I'm a strong believer that every game should have a physical ball lock. So I try to make that happen.
So now that's your responsibility to help everybody here have a mechanical ball lock.
So I'm in the Discord and the homebrew community, and I'm seeing like where other people have skills with programming and art and stuff. Some people don't always have mechanical design skills, so I enjoy it. It's a passion of mine, and I wanted to give back. So I've been designing mechs for a lot of games.
And that's a great way. I mean, everyone looks for those ways to give back. I love hearing someone excited about jumping in to help when they see the way that they're well suited to give some assistance. So, okay, we're short on time, so get off here. You mentioned Nate. Nate, come on up here. We haven't had our on-stage discussion yet. So Nate's game, Tiki Tapu. Like, this game is gorgeous. Like, it's an entire like complete experience. You walk up to it and it's got everything you want to have in that. It's clearly something you had a vision for, I think, probably before you even set out to put this together. Right. It's cohesive, it's complete. Like, talk about your process for making a homebrew game.
Oh my gosh, my process. Well, it started out with the idea of, that's so scary.
It's so loud.
It started out as an idea from a virtual pinball machine that was Tiki themed. And then I'm like, I want to recreate that in my own vision.
Sure.
And so then I started, like, I did the research. Before I don't know, I wanted to kind of look the same, but it was a wide body. I wanted to go standard.
Okay.
I literally got a piece of wood because VPX didn't give me the vibe that I wanted. I tried to do the ball pass. Piece of wood, literally 48 volt direct, 2 flippers. And I just started flipping and screwing stuff to the wood.
Right.
And when I didn't like it, I literally took it all off and kind of just moved. And I did that a few times. And then from there, it just blossomed into, yes, this will work.
I think everyone's got a different process on these things.
Right.
We talk about this every time we get up here and talk about it. Everyone does things a little different. There's your software design in CAD, get it all laid out, do it all
No
virtually.
CAD for me.
Yeah. I
don't have a
skew
cut
more
file.
your direction. It's like the idea of like I want to physically get an idea of the space. I want to start building
Right.
things on and cutting paper out and laying out like where things are going
Right.
to take up space.
Same.
It's
Cereal
really
boxes, man.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, nice. Reusing the cardboard and stuff.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
cereal box cardboard. A lot of people use foam core that it's like, 1/8 inch. Cereal box cardboard is like perfect. It's rigid enough to hold a ramp, and you can cut it really easy.
Dude, that's a good tip. My previous favorite tip that I learned in one of these was like, you know those like thin metal rulers?
That's me.
Was that
Hobby
you?
Lobby stainless steel rulers. They're like $7.99.
Yeah, it's like
they're a little taller,
your
but they're
ball guides.
stainless and
Yeah.
they work phenomenal.
You know
I
exactly
left mine
how
in
far
my
they
machine.
roll.
I never made different ones. Mine are still in there. Hobby Lobby stainless steel rulers.
That's awesome. Okay, so how many shows have you been to now? I know
This is
I've
my
been to-
third
okay.
show.
So
The
Southern
first
Fried.
one. So Southern Fried was my first show last year.
That's where we first
And that
met.
was about
Yeah.
9 months. I had my game basically fully art, package, everything done. The code was very child, small, pequeño. And I have since expanded now.
Okay.
Moog, Nick, Octo, all these guys that are sitting down here have like attributed to Jim. Is Jim here? Jim's here.
There you go.
They've all like brought it to what it is.
I love how you jump
I-
through like partial names, handles on 2 different platforms and screen names. I'm like, I think I know all those names.
You know what? There's
you know?
so many. You know what? They're all. I have a splash screen in my attract
Like a cheat
mode
sheet.
with all their names that have like somehow. Because I can't do the coding. I mean I can now.
Right.
But I knew nothing about coding when I started. I knew the
Okay,
art.
But that is the area where, like, again, when people look at, like, how can I help you? Like, you
Right.
make a project that looks good, that looks fun to shoot and stuff like that, somebody will help out with the code because it's going to make...
Absolutely.
It could be selfishly. They want to have more fun
Yeah.
playing your game. Like, that's a good... So when you look at the areas of, like, how do you entice other people to get involved with your project, like put a lot of effort into it. Come up with a clear vision on it. So if somebody does find themselves enticed to, like, help you out, that you're not just going, oh, I don't know, maybe we could do something. It's like, I want to do
Yeah,
this
I
certain mode.
had that all
Okay.
calculated.
Perfect.
Because like with my art and integration, I actually studied a bunch of Polynesian lore on
So
the
you went
gods.
deep.
I did. All my gods in my game are legitimate Polynesian gods.
Very cool.
And it's just, I don't know, it's immersive. And then I added all the Disney stuff too, because I like Disney.
There you go.
A lot of hidden things in there.
So in getting support and stuff like that, one thing that I tell people all the time, and we all, I don't know, engage differently and stuff. Some people are better at like articulating themselves or figuring out what they want. The piece of advice I always try to give people on when you're on the Discords, the Slack channels, or forums and stuff like that is I say, pretend like the person that has the answer to your problem has 5 minutes to help you. So be clear. What have you tried so far? What are you trying to accomplish? What are the challenges you've run into so far? Some examples of what you're doing so that they can go, maybe they're on their lunch break and they're looking at this going, you know what? I did this once too. Let me tell you how to fix this. Sometimes people get frustrated and be like, my code doesn't work. What am I supposed to do? And they post a config file up there and nobody responds.
No,
you know?
because what they want is the log of
Yeah,
why it failed.
There you go, you know? So that's another good example. Is like a lot of what we end up doing is teaching how to engage, how to give the information that's
Troubleshoot.
actually useful, for sure.
Right.
The troubleshooting that I end up doing is usually just asking you thoroughly what your problem is, and after 3 questions, you're like, shit, I know what it is.
Oh yeah,
And
we were
then, like,
talking about that. I can start chatting to you. You're not
Yes.
even there. But by the time we finish like 4 sentences, you're like, oh, that's what it is.
And I think that's the part about all these very focused like homebrew communities is like, you know that people have been in there before. They've had that experience, maybe they're gonna have that experience and now know they can come to you for it. But I say all the time, like my favorite thing to see is the new people helping the newer people because they just went through it themselves and they're eager
I've
to
done
jump
that.
in and to give back.
But now I'm
you know?
old and I missed some of it and I lost it. But
Okay.
I was helping, yes.
Okay, so again, time crunch.
Yep.
Love you, we could talk all day. I wanna bring Brad Holiday up.
Wait, one more thing. You wanted me to talk about the art.
Oh,
so my
okay,
art.
one more thing. Stay
my
there.
art was originally from a famous artist, whatever,
Yeah.
and I didn't ask permission in the beginning. Kyle over here, Smet.
Yep.
You're saying
Legendary.
it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Right.
I got permission. He said,
Yeah.
"Yep, you're cool." So ask. If you don't even think you can do it, just ask.
And that's, I wanted to talk about that briefly because there's a lot.
I'm ready to
you,
go now.
You get out of
Okay.
here. Go. Okay, Brad, come up. While you're coming up here, I'm gonna say, the reason we wanted to talk about that was that, like, there's always that, like tension and animosity and frustration when, like, you see art that you know that person didn't make that art. You know, we're not all amazing artists, so sometimes the idea of, like, working with other art inspires a vision, but come on, if that was your art, that might feel a little uncomfortable. Anytime you can, reach out. I mean, frankly, if you were an artist and you saw somebody making a pinball machine with it, that's kind of cool. It's not like they're running posters and selling them at a trade show, you know? Like, sharing the experience and sharing why you're inspired by their artwork to create something great, I think is a good thing to try and do whenever you can.
Yeah.
Brad, what's up, man?
So much.
Okay, so this is my Brad meeting story. I get an email, and I'm probably exaggerating. It's got like 60 questions in it. And I'm like, oh, geez. So my response was like, hey, can we just get on a Google Meet video, and you can talk to me while I'm soldering, and we can just chat all afternoon. So it turns it into an interactive podcast, and it was great. I mean, you just went question by question, and I turned and said what when I didn't hear what you said, but we got through it, and that was incredible.
Yeah.
So that was how we started.
It is.
And now we're here at the show here with the Top Gun game you put together.
Yes.
That was fantastic. So talk about where you came from, all your experience in building pinball before this, and how it applied to this game.
Oh, it's zero experience at all. I used to be a competitive player before COVID, and then after COVID, my daughter started doing travel ball, so I spend my time with her and the family.
There you go.
I miss a lot of shows, but I still had the passion for pinball, and I took that passion into the passion for Top Gun. It's my wife's favorite movie, my favorite movie. We bond with it. My kids love it. And it's one of those, like, I don't think they're ever going to make this theme. I'm tired of waiting for it.
Right.
I want to build it. But the big part as well is, you know, I'm 47 years old. My mind felt stale.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt personally that I was stuck. I wasn't learning. I wasn't growing as a person. And I'm like, I need to challenge myself with something.
Absolutely.
So I had zero coding, zero CAD, zero art. Like, I had no experience in anything.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I can learn it. So started off with VPX. Those that may know the VP10 platform, I'm 85 vet, so I did a lot of the Stern play fields at that time.
Okay.
So like ACDC, X-Men, Tron, those were mine that I contributed community before I kind of backed out of it a little bit. So that was my experience there, was just taking it, logging into VP main. So no coding really experience,
Right.
just VP main did it all.
Sure.
But I wanted to build my game in VPX just to see, is my mind equate to something that actually works?
Okay.
So I just started kind of playing. With VPX, you can get everyone's code up front, and so I just started reading the code, and it clicked.
Okay.
You know, Visual Basic was.
It's like, you know what this does, and now you're seeing how it was
I
accomplished.
can see it, and I can
Right.
play the game. I say, oh, well, that's how that works, and so forth. So I'm like, okay, this is great. I can take that, and I can directly move it to HomeBrew.
Sure.
Turns out it's different language.
Yeah.
So, I decided at that point when I made the virtual version, I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, hey, I want to do this. What do you think? And she's like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
So I did. I built the game, hadn't coded it. I had it whitewood, and I was literally rolling balls with my hand.
Right.
It's like, hey, it's time for me to, get it flipping. So that's when I called you. I was like, let's do this.
That was
right?
awesome.
So I spent an hour and a half of your day. Sorry about that again.
Oh, dude, stop apologizing for that. It was awesome.
And I learned a lot. You helped me get a platform. I'm pretty sure I'm maxed out on all the boards, all the power supplies, and everything. Everything I could put into it, and I started getting going. And I got really frustrated. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I got really frustrated because I couldn't figure out the Python. It just
Okay.
would not click to me at all. I posted in Strictly Customs Pinball Facebook
Sure.
that I was frustrated. Big man right here, Ernie, reached out, and he's like, "Hey, what can I do?"
Yeah.
And I said, this is how I learned VPX. I just looked at other people's code and I read it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll send you Monsters Inc.
There you go.
So without Monsters Inc. and you sending me that code, I wouldn't be here.
Just to put that up there, Jim in the back, and Nick,
Yeah.
they helped me with the code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I appreciate it more than you can imagine, because seeing that, it started to click on, oh, that's how you get the flippers to work. That's how you make the two systems communicate with each other. And I really kind of struggled. And once that clicked, then I started kind of going off my own.
Build some momentum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I stumbled on Claude AI, and I said, hey, can you teach me at a first grade level how to do this? And it's step by step. And you need to do this, and it would give me examples of code,
Okay.
and I would tell it what I was trying to do, and it'd say, well, you need to do this in an event player, you need to do this. And it got me going. So, you know, I work finance, I'm a marketing guy, so if
Right.
I can do it, anybody can do it. You know, it's just the ambition and the desire to learn. You know, like, for example, my son, he's always wanted to learn to weld. I've always wanted to learn to weld. I got wire form ramps in there.
There you
Bought a
go.
welder. He and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos together, and we were in the garage one weekend.
Dude, I
just
love
sitting there
that so
welding,
much.
right? And that's how I got my wire forms. You know, we built it together. He helped me weld it, so it's a piece of him in there as well.
And it's
So-
that shared experience. I mean, amongst friends, I love when family gets involved too. You know,
Yeah.
when spouses are, even if it's just encouraging. You know, the chance that you can turn around and share the progress of your project, share that joy a little bit. I think you hit a really good point too, right in the beginning. You said, you know, we get to a certain age, it's like we need something new. We need to learn something else. It's like, what the hell else are we gonna do? Like, we've got to have a problem to solve. We got to find a community to get involved in and stuff like that. And it's like, that's where this like silly talk got its name. It's like we all have been making friends all over the world building pinball machines, because you can't, like, if you make a machine right, it's designed to have somebody come and play it. It's not like, come look at this model I built, we can sit there and look at it together. This is designed to be like, come over and play it and share that experience together, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that that's an area where, you know, probably one of the fun things and expensive things about homebrew pinball is you find, oh, I need this tool, I need to buy this tool, I need to get this. I think I need a CNC machine of my own now. Like, I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
But you're talking about doing things with your son. It's like the chance of like, oh, I need to buy a welder. I did the same thing. I bought a welder. My son's been using the welder. Like, it's a chance to say like, you know what? I need to spend time with my kid, sure.
Yeah.
I need to have an enriching growth experience myself. If you can merge those together into something like the two of you out welding in the backyard, like, that's incredible,
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's great. All the patience in the world with my wife. I wish she could be here, but she's
Yeah.
at home, spring break with the kids and so forth. But you know, I'm in my office every night, a couple hours, trying to get through and push stuff through. And she'll come in. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? And I'll just kind of show it, and she's like, oh, that's really cool, but can you do this? Like, one of her favorite scenes in the movies, I didn't have in there.
Okay.
Because she likes the one, because everyone kind of tells her, like, oh, you look like you're mad, you look like you're mad. And it's like, no, it's just my face, right? So one of the scenes in Top Gun Maverick, they say, that's the only face I've got.
Yeah.
So in one of the scenes, if you get through it, if you fail a mission, it says, Mav, I don't like that look. And he turns to him and says, that's the only face I got, right? So, you know, pieces of her are in there as well, right? You know, so
Fine,
it's
honey,
just
I'll
kind of
make a
bringing it all
mode just
together.
for you. You know,
Exactly,
I mean, like,
you know?
that's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
That's like birthday gift, Christmas gift.
Oh,
Good,
jeez, man, I
I
owe
made
her-
you another mode.
Yeah, I owe her everything, just let me to do it. So.
Okay, I got to say, I feel like I've said my favorite this whole talk here, but one of my favorite experiences of this show so far. So you bring your game in, I'm like, oh my gosh, your game is so awesome, blah, blah, blah. You're like, can I show you under the play field?
Oh, yes.
So like, wiring is kind of my jam these days. That's like, you know, I'm obsessive and mad about that stuff. But your enthusiasm to want to show it to me, I was like, that made me happy. Like, you lift it up, and I'm like, for a first wiring job, like, A+, man. Like, that was pretty impressive. The staging that you used to like lift the boards up off your lights to make everything fit, like, thumbs up, man. Like, I took a picture of you with your arm around it. Like, I'll have to send that to you. You can frame it, put it on the wall. Like, that was incredible, man.
Yeah.
So come down and play Top Gun.
Yeah, thank
You know,
you.
talk his ear off. He's a super nice guy. Like, thanks for coming up and hanging out with us, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks for convincing me to come. And I wasn't going to do it, and you guys said do it. And
Okay.
I'm glad it did.
My next slide says Ernie Silverberg. So Ernie, you
nice.
come up here and hang out with me. Okay, so real quick, as Ernie's making his way up here, one of the things I want to talk about with Ernie is like, he has been doing a wonderful thing where, if you've been out to the homebrew space, there's the Spaceballs pinball machine. So this is the game that John Marsh made, a good friend in the homebrew community that passed away recently. He had always wanted to take that game to all the other shows around the country. So it's basically like, it's Spaceballs, the world tour right now. And it was at Southern Fried Gaming Expo. His wife was very kind to let us bring the game. We got to do a little celebration of life out there. But then it turned into, well, it's still in Ernie's car. We got Expo coming up. Let's take it to Expo.
Bring it there. And she's like, of course. And she's been following along.
Yes.
And his daughter has been as well.
Yeah.
So after Expo, my intentions were to bring it back to her house. And then finally I'm like, hey, can I just bring it to Texas for this last show and then I'll bring it back? And
Yeah.
she was stoked that we were doing that. So
Well, that's where it started. Yeah, back
that's
again.
where it started. We got to go back again though. Yeah, Southern Fried's easy enough. I could go get it and then do
Go
it.
on the way home,
Yeah.
even, you know? Okay, so we love John. Like, we're so happy to tour his game all around. But let's talk about your game for a second here. So Monsters, Inc., man. Like, if those of you who don't know Ernie's in the, we call it like power builder category, like building playfields like all the time.
It's the problem is when I'm building a game, I come up with more ideas
Right.
that go on a different game, so I have to finish that one or at least get it to a point that I can go to that one because that's the new obsession. And then it happens again.
If
And
we
it
sit
just
here
keeps
too long,
going.
you're gonna make another playfield while we're sitting here.
I've already
you
got
can
it in my
totally-
head. No.
Okay, so with the Monsters Inc. game, there's a lot of stuff in there that, I mean, we've talked about the collaboration with others and stuff like that to help out. But talk a little bit about like some of the cool mechs in that game. Like it does some
Yep.
stuff that we haven't seen in a lot of other games. So
Yep.
like,
So there, I think the main one to point out, there's two that are
Yep.
really awesome, is the Magna ramp that I did before Homebrew Harry Potter.
yeah,
By Kyle Reed. As trademarked too. No, it's it's a wire form that has magnets, passive magnets, and the ball just travels on the bottom side. So there's nothing underneath it, comes off and drops into another ramp. I didn't even know that was in Pinball Magic
right.
when I created it, and then somebody's like, "Oh, that's like Pinball Magic." I'm like, "I'm not the guy."
Don't you love those comments where it's like, your cool idea you did, somebody did that before.
And then I was actually at Kyle's house, and he was showing us Harry Potter, and he had something very similar, and I was like, damn it. So we had a big conversation. We don't know who did it first. We both did it at the same time, yeah. But we give each other a hard
You
time.
can get a T-shirt that says,
Yeah.
I did it too. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It's
And
fine.
then mine's higher. The other mech, I wanted, oh, that was really loud. I wanted the doors from Monsters Inc. because
Oh,
that's
yeah, yeah.
one of the big scenes
It's like
where
an
they're
iconic part of it,
conveyor, the door conveyor system. So bouncing ideas off of Nick slash Moog, whatever you want to call him.
Green shirt guy.
He had a cool idea. So the doors are suspended above the upper playfield, and they're just stepper motor, and you can cycle through the doors. You have my center orbit. If you go in, you can go in two different directions. If you go in one way, it rotates them to the left. If you go in the other way, it rotates them to the right. And then there's a door that looks like Boo's door. And once you get that in that spot in certain modes, that's how you complete the mode.
Which is like such a great physical feedback thing because it's moving the way it feels very analog, very natural and stuff. I think so much of pinball these days is like defaulted to the screen, where really what's attractive and exciting about pinball is what's physically there. So if you're watching things rotate and they're kind of swinging as they stop, and you know that your ball is causing that to happen, that's a good kinetic physical game experience for sure. You know, it could have been done with just a couple flashing LEDs.
No, it could have,
but
and
it's worth the effort. You know.
We went through a couple different revisions on what we could fit, how big the doors needed to be, things like that. And I think
Right.
what we landed on is perfect.
Dude, I think it looks super good. Okay, so we should talk about Trident Pinball, okay? So I've had a lot of people come up and just so excited about what kicked them off. And a lot of people have brought up the fact that cross paths with you and the fact that you're gonna send them a bunch of boards, you're gonna send them a playfield starting point. That's how we first met, was I'd seen online, somebody's doing kits. I'm like, oh, I wanna see somebody do this so bad. At this point in time, now that a lot of the Mission Pinball framework has gotten more stabilized, it's come along to a point to where you can even give them a computer with that stuff built in and ready to go. Your Trident bundles have kicked off a decent number of projects out here.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the experience with getting, I guess what it does for you to make these kits exist and get people started in
Yeah,
pinball.
so when I first started, there was the Strictly Custom Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
and you can find information in there, but you have to search, and it's kind of hard to find. So there wasn't one spot necessarily that you could go to find everything. There's a couple Wikipedias that have information.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, God, it'd be kind of cool if there was some kind of a kit that just had everything,
Yeah.
that takes out the guesswork of, what mechs do you need? What,
They designed to fit together.
what
already,
wire
you know?
do you need? What hardware
Yeah.
do you need? This kind of stuff. And the biggest thing in on the feedback that I've gotten is that most people are just afraid to take that first step.
Yeah.
So if you can just buy this one package that has everything you need to get flipping, and it's not an easy kit that you just
Sure.
strap it on there and it's like immediately ready to go. You have to learn, and it's designed that way to make people learn some of the code and learn some of the wiring and learn, because you don't want to build a game and not know how to fix it if something breaks,
Sure.
because something is going to break at some point.
Well, I think that like also probably the most, like, we could probably all agree to this, the most precious thing we have is like our time, right? So we've all got jobs and families and friends and responsibilities and stuff like that, but we get these little windows of time to work on our games and to find out that like I'm missing this one piece, or these two pieces that I bought, when you put them together, it makes my in lanes too narrow for a ball to even roll down it. So I picked the wrong things, So anything that you can do to keep that part moving better is a big thing. But also, I know that like there's fast customers that have bought a bunch of boards and they're sitting in that box on their shelf that they've just forgotten about, and it's out of sight, out of mind, and that's years are going by and they haven't done the project. You get a kit that includes a big, 20 and a quarter by 46 inch play field and a bunch of mechs, and that's also in front of you. Now it's like, it's almost
I need to do
constantly-
something with it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that, with making pinball, I think, we say all the time that everybody's hard part is different, So the idea of like, is it the code that's hard? Is it the woodworking that's hard? Is it the electronics that's hard? That kind of thing. And I think that like these kind of kits just narrow that stuff down a little bit further. So maybe the woodworking is the most intimidating part, But the fact that you've got one that's mostly the right shape and that you can make it flip, that takes it down a little bit. So then the next step is like, where are you drilling holes to put things in the play field and stuff? So it's not like, where do I buy wood that's the right thickness and stuff like that. So the kits definitely do a lot to like push that along. So,
Yep.
dude, you're doing good work, man.
It's fun. It's all about the community.
So speaking of community, excellent segue. We should talk about another project. Kyle, do you want to come up and join us? Kyle Reed here, as was said before, he'd done his Harry Potter homebrew game. Kyle, we call him like project lead, like group lead. Basically like the idea to create a community designed and developed pinball machine that somebody could follow along, learn about the whole process, but in the end be able to download files, download art files, all that kind of stuff, and go and build this game themselves was a fantastic idea. And I think that what we're definitely seeing is that as more and more people are getting enticed with like cool projects like building pinball, not everybody is like set up to design pinball. But I've met plenty of people that said like, if you could just give me the instructions to build a game that when I got to the end of the line, I could play it and flip it, like that's something I would love to do. So that's where this project came around. And I think it started with a bunch of us drinking whiskeys and bourbons around a campfire out at your place. And so talk a little bit about how this idea came around and maybe what people can expect and come and learn about with what Pinforge and Bootleggers is all about.
Yeah. So last April, you guys all flew out to my house for a little brainstorming session, but after going through the process of designing my first game and how much of a pain in the butt it was to do it, there's so many aspects in designing a game that you need to learn. It's electronics, it's mechanical engineering, it's carpentry, it's welding, looking up YouTube videos for welding. There's so much involved in doing this project. And as you alluded to, like, time is precious. Yeah. And not everyone has time during, like, after their workday. Not only do you go build a game, but you have to first research how to do it too. So I kind of wanted to make that barrier of entry a little bit better and more achievable for people not only wanting to get into homebrew and build a game, but also like collectors, people who just wanted a little one-off thing, who, they're the DIY people that do their own flooring or whatever. Right. But you look up a YouTube video and, well, here's how you do it. So the whole goal with Pinforge was to assemble a team of really strong people within the homebrew space that can each bring something. And we have 7 members on this team. I can name them all. I probably should. We got Aaron from Fast, Ernie, myself, Kyle Smet. Where'd he go? He's hiding behind the camera here.
Behind his trophies.
Kyle Smet. We got Nick Morand, or Moogly Moog, or Pickle Nick. Alex Labasco with MPF. So we and Jeff Palmer from, he's not here, but he lives in Michigan with myself and Nick as well. He owns an arcade in Bay City. So we wanted people that have each done something different and can bring something together on this to make it a really strong team that people respect what we're trying to do. So yeah, we're going to design a whole game from start to finish. We started in November, and we'll have a fully complete arted up game at Expo. We're working with a tremendous artist over here, Eric Lee. If you haven't been over by the game, his back glass artwork is incredible, and we're looking forward to see what the rest is there. But then at the end of this project, so after Expo comes and goes, we're gonna film step-by-step tutorial videos on how to build this exact game called Bootleggers, and all of the files will be published. All of the artwork, the code, and everything will be compiled and published. You can go download it and follow along, build your own thing. We're gonna partner with probably some Marco kits and things of that nature, fast kits. So everything you need to buy to build this game, here's a kit, go buy it. Here's the play field fully arted up, clear coated, go buy it. Or if you wanna cut your own and figure out how to print and clear coat, those files will be available. You can do that. So your level of complexity is your choice. So we want to make it as easy as possible for people to build a copy of this originally licensed, or not even a license, original theme
Yeah, original theme.
game. And yeah, it's cool. It's over in the homebrew area. We got the prototype, so you should swing on over, give it a few flips. Tell us what you like, what you
The
don't.
plan is to have hopefully 3 or 4 completed games at Expo.
Yeah, we're gonna try
That's
to
the
get
goal.
as many of us on the team to have completed games for Expo. So it'll be cool to have like, here's a bank of 4 bootleggers, come play them.
No, and I think that what, you know, like you said, like, this game has only just come together, like, in the last week. You know, I mean, it's like all the final pieces, like, I sent you out wiring to put together on it, like, Kyle brought a cabinet up. I mean, it was like, it came together in its physical form here, like, out on the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
for the first time, you
Nick
know?
drove the play field
Yeah.
down from my house. Kyle brought the cabinet. You flew the harness to me. Alex flew the computer to me. And like, it just all came together like 2 days to go before TPF. And on Monday night's stream, we got it flipping. Oh, and we're streaming Monday nights, our
Yeah,
development
talk about the
process.
stream, like that part of it. So every Monday night, it's like what, 9 o'clock Eastern time?
9 Eastern.
So, you know, every night my wife gets home from work on a Monday night and says, "Aren't you doing your stream thing with your friends tonight?" Because she hears us just out there giggling and goofing off around making pinball, you know, and it's a blast. And I think that, like, you know, at this stage, it's just us kind of dreaming this whole thing up. Like, we all think that we can pull this off, and so it's all of us like finding where maybe we misguessed, or we have to do a little more work, or where time was our challenge. But also, you know, we've all done things we've experienced from different places, and so to kind of aim all our guns at the same project, it's been cool to see it come together. And really, like, you know, I've had confidence that we would get there for sure. The timeline was the big question. Walking up to the game here and playing it and flipping it was incredible. When Alex finally landed, he came in, did some more code, then Lights did more things. I mean, this thing is like living and growing, like literally in front of us out there. So it's fantastic. And I mean, I think that it's the embodiment of like a lot of people, a lot of collaborating aimed at one single project. And with the goal, like Kyle said, is to just bring more people into like maybe possibly building their own pinball machine. So very cool stuff. So I think we're probably getting pretty close on time here, but we do want to kind of leave some room for questions. But I do want to say, like, there's other games out here that I haven't even mentioned yet. So Cayman Kai and her team are there with their Pinball in Wonderland. Clap hands, let's do it. Bob Neese has his Elf game, which has been to these shows before. Fantastic game. Owen and Luke Underwood with their Pokemon game, like the first Pokemon game that's out there. Go play that game. And then Kyle Smet's got some stuff out there too. Friday the 13th and Big Trouble in Little China, like, come and play that stuff. So definitely come out. And again, like, we all want to talk to you. Like, you know, we might look busy and stuff like that. As long as you're not like bumping a soldering iron out of somebody's hands, like, come up and say hi for sure. So does anybody here have any questions for anybody here or who was up here at one point, or? Okay, Cayman, guys, get out of here. Cayman, come up. We got room for you. We got time after all. So one of the things I saw when we first got here was your brand new playfield with the full artwork on it. And I held my tongue because I was going to say, why don't we just wire it up here at the show real quick? But like, there's too much stuff going on already. But that's going to look gorgeous. So talk about this project and all the crew. I mean, I've met so many people that you've had brought into the pinball space and coming along with your crazy idea that you want to make pinball. Like, talk about like your game and your process and whatever else you want to.
Sure, yeah. I mean, It's funny, I've actually roped in a couple of my board game friends. So Omar I actually met from our board game group.
Nice.
He's the newest member on our team. He's done a lot of the 3D modeling.
Yeah, so I like to say that I'm the rapid prototyping department. So that's my skill set. I know a lot about CAD. I know how to 3D print, and just a lot of the physical design. That's kind of been my forte. So.
Yeah, and it is really cool how people do things in different order, right? We actually just got score and display for the first time in this past week. We've been working on this machine for 2 years. We focused really heavily on designing the playfield, and I was hoping we'd have the final playfield all hooked up, but for TPF, that was ambitious. You always think you're gonna get more done than you actually do. But it is, and I was like, oh, have we really done that much from last year? But I just actually had all the memories on my phone today, and I was like, wow, it's come a long way, so.
Well, I think that's what's cool about taking things to shows is that like you'll get someone who comes up and goes, oh, you've done so much since last time I saw this. And you're looking at it, you can't even remember all the teeny tiny little steps that you've taken. But I would say like the playfield artwork, like who did the artwork for this playfield? Because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so my friend, one of my best friends in Tallahassee, Ray Hensel, she did the artwork. I introduced her to pinball. Every time I go back to Tallahassee, I'd take her to the local arcade, we'd play, and I told her I was doing this project and we needed an artist, and she's like, hey, I'd love to do it. She's never done something like that before, and I think that's actually why it's kind of really so unique, you know? I think she's not as into the pinball, she hasn't seen a lot of the artwork and what it looks, so she just worked, from her own mind what would look cool, and what she came up with was fantastic. The stained glass look, it's so unique. And I sent her a picture of me in this outfit once just as a model for one of her mock-ups, and she's stuck with it. This has actually become like our Alice, and it's very signature, which is really cool.
So is the playfield like in the booth over there? Like, can people walk up and see that?
It's right after this, I'm taking it to our booth to set it up. It'll be next to the game. Yeah, Bob had it at his booth yesterday, and I think a lot of people got to see it.
Timeshare between you two.
Yeah,
I mean, go up and look at it. You're to find yourself staring, and it, like the stained glass look, it looks like it's got a texture and depth to it. Like the lighting, the light direction and stuff on the artwork itself gives it that kind of depth looking into that. So that's fantastic. So with the game, you had the game set up here initially, and I think you had some transport problems or something like that at first. And I loved how like Nick Neitzel had come over looking for a certain screw that I didn't have, but I remembered you had one that was unused on your game, and I knew that you needed some help with things. So I said, if you go talk to Cayman, she'll probably let you use that screw, but you should help her with the problem that they've got there, So we did I brokered some bartering to try and like help everybody out there. But I mean, I watched over there, like everybody was coming over to lending a little inside, trying to get some tips and stuff like that. So I mean, that's cool too,
It's awesome to bring it to shows. I mean, Ernie, thank you for helping. I was sitting there, getting frustrated, calling Andrew, our third guy on the project. He couldn't be here.
Gonna FaceTime call there.
Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Andrew. But I was like, wait a second. We always call Ernie, when we have a problem. Like, he's here. I'm just going to grab him. And sure enough, he helped me fix it. And we actually, last year, we brought it and we got it flipping for the very first time ever. The story about y'all bringing the different pieces, that was us last year. We got it flipping 2 minutes before the show floor opened last year. This year, at least, it was 2 hours before. And it was flipping earlier this week. So,
That's fantastic. So with all the, you say you brought in all the different people, lure them into the pinball world and stuff like that. So like as you're out there talking pinball, I know you're involved with the Austin Pinball Collective and stuff like that. So you've got this hub of people already involved in things. And I know that like anytime you get like a fun, different project like that in pinball, like pinball people will find pinball. They're going to see it, they're going to know, they're going to hear about a project and stuff like that. But when you talk about people that you're bringing in, these are people that are outside of pinball directly, not already. I mean, I don't know if you are a big pinball player yet.
Yeah, so actually, I'm kind of just like a casual player, and this is the most pinball I've ever played in my life.
It's like a fire hose.
Yeah, so I've been a casual player, but the thing is, with this project, I think I thrive with problem solving.
Okay,
and
very cool.
A lot of the problems that we had whenever I was onboarded, it was the physical part.
Okay.
So like, what do we do to connect this part to this part? So that was kind of where I started helping them out. It's like,
right.
Okay, well, maybe we can model something real quick. That way we can make sure this ramp is upright right here, all of the fixtures underneath and on top on the head, make sure that those are secure. They're not gonna move anywhere.
Right.
So that's exactly what I did, and so
it's like you just create an opportunity to take your skills and apply it into a different space.
Exactly.
But also too, it's like it does draw you in. You know, now you're starting to look at pinball.
absolutely.
You're like, I came in here doing 3D modeling and stuff like that. But you know, maybe if we did some rules that did this, like we shot it this way and maybe it did this other thing, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. So I
just
started
being around it is great.
Exactly. So I started CADing our current playfield
Okay.
with all of the parts that I modeled. That way, I can potentially start looking at pinball trajectories for the final one.
There you go.
Yeah.
You-
and then
you-
as
you
I was
built-
saying last night, I was like, now I really want to do my own project. But
But I do think that's one of the things we see a lot is somebody brings a friend in to help out with a certain thing, and then you've got your own ideas. Like, you know, like Ernie was saying, it's like you're working on a project, you got 2 other ideas of your own that you just kind of set aside somewhere, make some notes somewhere. But I do think that like being in a collaborative group, working your way through a project, especially when it's your first experience doing that, it really does kind of get you into the fun part, get the rhythm going, get some momentum going like a little faster. Because again, coming from an area where you know something super well and going to a whole other medium context gameplay experience, that's a big leap, you know. But if you're able to say like, you know, you've got a vision and how you want to fit that together, you can help out and get that project moving. So it's super good.
Yeah, kudos to y'all that do it on your own. I don't know how you find the motivation to do that. We just meet every Thursday at 7:30 for 2 or 3 hours, and we stay consistent. And because it's, you know, more than one person, it's the 3 of us. Joel, my boyfriend, also helped rewire the playfield.
Nice.
You know, keep pulling people in, but it keeps us accountable, keeps us progressing. You know, keeps it consistent. So yeah, and I'm already looking to do my next one actually even more collaborative at the collective. I'm going to propose that as a community we build a homebrew together, and I'm going to teach anyone who'd like to be involved how to build it. And my theme that I think I'm going to choose is Austin. I'm hoping everybody agrees with me, but I think it's something we all have in common, right? And the Austin Pinball Collective could have an Austin pinball machine. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to propose it next month. Well, we're going to take a break from ours for, you know, a month
get
or
a
two
few
after
nights sleep, all that
TPF.
kind of stuff.
But, you know, I don't have enough to do, so I'm going to start another one on the side.
That's awesome, and I love the accountability angle. I love the regular meetups. That's where like the Pinforge thing, meeting every Monday night, it just keeps things going. And I think that all the communities and all the people you collaborate with, that accountability is a big deal. You know, if you lay out a goal before a weekend that you want to get accomplished, you don't want to come around Monday and people ask how it went. You say, I watched garbage TV all weekend. I didn't do it. Like, you're going to think, I don't want to get one more. I don't want to lose one more weekend. You know, I want to be able to share some progress and keep moving along. So, dude, this is awesome. I'm glad we got to squeeze you in at the last minute. I said we don't have room for everybody. We've talked before, so I'm glad we got to squeeze in here. Now, for people with questions, sorry, we don't have time for questions. So you got to come talk to us in person over there. So thank you so much for everybody hanging out, and yeah, make some pinball, make some friends. Super cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm usually nervous.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Some people on the front, some people standing on the stage. Everyone that is in the community makers, even your name's not here, just
I'm short. I should probably be in front.